live on Facebook. Once we're live on Facebook, we'll be away, guys. Can everyone please share these all out to your groups, please? Facebook groups. We should be live, guys. Should be live. Right. I think we're there. Can you see it live on Facebook, Andrew?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto University tonight. It's great. We've got an exciting night tonight. Andrew from Australia's got up really, really early for us, and he's got some really interesting things to say. So I'm going to kick off tonight with Andrew, and then we've got people. We've got Damien on. We've got Rebecca on tonight. We've got Social Dave. We've got Nick. So we've got lots of exciting things happening tonight, guys. So Andrew, good morning, and well, it's evening from us, but good morning, and thank you for coming on, and thank you for getting up early. Could you where you go?
All good, thanks, Roger. Look, it's very exciting time to be alive in the world of finance and cryptocurrencies, and seeing what's happening with the banking industry, what's happening with countries, and a lot of people are trying to hold on in a cryptocurrency world. They're trying to hold on to the fact that we started out as a decentralized concept. You know, we all want to have a little bit of power. We all want to have a bit of autonomy. We all want to be independent people within the world. We all want to be part of one community, but not one world. So we don't want to be one world currency or one world. We want to have our own nationality, pride, and stuff like that. But the facts are that we have to have centralized finances. You know, the cryptocurrency industry started out decentralized. So what that really meant is that globally people were interconnecting their computing software to verify transactions. And that still happens today. That's why the Bitcoins and the Bitcoin Cashes and Ethereum, they have that decentralized business model. But the problem with that, as more evolution, more people, newer technologies come in, the older style of decentralized cryptocurrency transactions is starting to, well, it is failing. It's not as quick, it's not as efficient, and it's certainly not as safe as what it should be. And the people that have those currencies are experiencing some delays with the newer centralized cryptocurrencies coming out. The transaction speeds are extremely fast, and the fee for transactions are a lot lower. The main reasons being is that someone has to verify a transaction in a decentralized model. Now that someone usually is one of the very, very big miners that created quite a lot of coins in the past, or has control over a lot of the coins in the past. So those guys do control the marketplace quite well. I was only listening to a webinar recently. In the Bitcoin world, most of the cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin, most of the Bitcoin cryptocurrency is controlled by 6 IP addresses, just 6, which means they really control what's happening within that whole currency. You know, it's like the George Soros of the fiat currency world. You know, he has a lot of control over national currencies. So what's happening now is people are finding that the manipulations that happen in the decentralized world are affecting the coin prices on a daily basis. The bigger websites like Coin Market Cap, you know, there's things in there that aren't really ethically happening, which are affecting coin prices, which are affecting individuals coming into the market, and people are exiting the market because of how they're manipulating the facts that they're putting out into the world. So with a decentralized world, there's some failings there. And because we're starting to grow very, very big as a community, people are seeing the hype of the media, like we're seeing last year with Bitcoin and Ripple. You know, there's things on TV teaching people, you know, news coverage were saying, you know, this is how you buy Ripple. It was exactly the wrong time to be buying cryptocurrency when it was hitting that, you know, 19,000 US dollar mark, and Ripple was up over $1.50 or $1.80. It was the wrong time to be buying it, but the media was telling people to buy it. And then the opposite happened. When all the investors moved out of the marketplace at Christmas time, and all the people in Asia moved out of the marketplace because of Christmas and Chinese New Year, the marketplace dropped. So what did the media go and do? They told everyone to sell, which was the worst time to be selling your coins. You should be buying more when it's dropping like that. So, you know, the market manipulation in the traditional sense, in the decentralized sense, has got some pretty big failings. It has damaged the reputation of the currencies as a whole, as an industry as a whole, because of that market manipulation. Now, with a centralized business model, it's very, very, very different. They have dedicated servers which verify transactions. They have dedicated servers which will always be looking after that particular currency. So if by chance the currency speed starts to slow, the transfer verification speed starts to slow down, they just put more servers on. For every transfer that they authorize and verify, it means that they earn a little bit of money. So they have a vested interest to look after that currency, just like Ripple. Ripple is a centralized cryptocurrency. You know, Ripple's run out of South Korea. It's a good currency. There's nothing wrong with it. It's totally controlled by the company. We hope that the company stays and does exactly what it's been doing lately. So that's a good thing. But it's a centralized cryptocurrency. So don't believe for a second that there's no other centralized cryptocurrencies out there. The OneCoin business model is exactly the same. You know, we have a centralized cryptocurrency. It means the company verifies all the transactions. Now, what that means in a protective sense, let's say I wanted to buy, you know, a gold necklace off Roger over in England. He tells me it's 24 carats. He tells me how much what it weighs, and we agree on a price. I send him some Bitcoin. Roger collects the Bitcoin, and he goes, "Thank you very much. I've sent the product." The product don't turn up. He hasn't sent it. There's no transaction, no transfer to follow it. It just doesn't go. And I've got no one to go back to and say, "Hey, can I have my Bitcoin back?" And he, nah, tough luck. Whereas with a centralized business model, just like OneCoin, I have got a support team. I have got some people I can talk to. I can make a complaint. I can get the transaction investigated. And that's a big thing in the world of finances. The buyers and the sellers need protection when they're actually dealing with money. At the moment now, the only people that are getting the big benefit out of a transaction that is in a decentralized model is the seller. They get protected because they get the money. So if you don't send your product or you don't receive it, then you've spent your money and it's gone. You can't talk to anyone, you can't complain, you can't have it investigated. But with the OneCoin business model and with centralized cryptocurrencies, there is someone you can talk to. They can trace the transaction and they can investigate what's actually gone wrong with the transaction, and they can actually help you get your money back. Or even if you're a purchaser and you're doing the wrong thing, they can say, "Well, tough luck, buddy. The evidence is showing that the product was sent, your risk." So I like that type of support team. Now, what's happened on top of all that, governments like the centralized business model as well. That's just a pure fact. You know, we do live in a world where there are bad people. We do live in a world where bad people are doing stuff globally. And we do live in a world where governments need to be able to trace financial dealings around the world so that if bad people do bad stuff, we can prevent them from doing it again. So with the OneCoin business model, if someone does something wrong, an individual government can go to the company and say, "Look, these are the transactions," because the transactions will be transparent. "These are the transactions. We're trying to find out what finance this particular activity." The company will be They won't be obligated, they don't have to, but the company will provide that data to a government in order for that person to be prosecuted. And I think that's a good thing as well. So it's protecting the public, just like the present anti-money laundering laws do have that as well. They do that in the normal financial industry, and we need that sort of big brother type stuff for people that are doing the wrong thing. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you're doing everything right, you're doing the things that everyone else should be doing, then the government's not going to ask to see what's happening in your account or verify a particular transaction because you've got nothing to do. Governments and the law enforcement agencies only look when something's gone wrong or they get a tip-off about something that's happening wrong. Now, the good thing about what's happening with OneCoin, back in January, they got the governments over in Europe got a tip-off that OneCoin was doing things wrong. A false accusation was made, and the government stepped in and they did their investigations. All the servers were looked at, the whole business model was looked at, and everything was come out squeaky clean. The structure, the business, the transparency was all there. And what did the government do? They walked away, wiped their hands of it, wasted a lot of money over a false accusation. I don't know what the result of that person making the accusation towards OneCoin happens, but there should be some consequences because it did waste a lot of money and resources for the governments that did their investigations. But, it was completed. So the business model works for OneCoin. I know the business model works for Ripple as well. They've got a very different business model than OneCoin. They're a commercial cryptocurrency where we are a retail cryptocurrency. I like the fact that when OneCoin makes coins, they don't store the coins in their own accounts. They don't do excess coins. Their coins are actually put out into the miners, the people that contract through the One Academy, they get their coins. So that means that out of the 3.4 million funded accounts within OneCoin, that is where all the coins actually lie. The people that have those coins there do have that value sitting in their accounts. They do have control of their accounts, and they can determine where and who they spend their money with, or if they spend their money at all. We're not looking at the way I look at our business model is that we don't buy our One Academy packages to have an investment. It's not an investment in OneCoin. We're buying a cryptocurrency through the One Academy training program as money. It's just like if you were to go over to America and you knew you were going and you knew the currency that you presently have is at a high and you're going to go in the next 6 or 12 months to America, you'd buy some American dollars now, and then you would think that in 12 months' time, you hope that the American dollar goes down in value, so you've got more spending cash over in America. So you're buying your money early for your holiday. Well, OneCoin's the same type of thing. If you want to buy your One Academy training program, get some currency, you're getting it at a bit of a discount compared to what the marketplace is going to be when you're actually going to be using it. On top of that, I like the fact that if you're going to travel, and it's good to see Joan on the webinar tonight because Joan does a lot in Italy. I know a lot of people want to travel to Italy. Nearly everyone in my whole community wants to travel to Italy because they're all Italian heritage. But it would be nice to have a 7% more holiday because that's what it costs me to travel. I pay for my air flights at Australian dollars. I pay all my taxes in Australian dollars. But as soon as I touch Joan's shores, I have to spend 7% more money just to have a bit more of a holiday. So in effect, I can nearly, if I say I'm there for 7 days, I can nearly have, another half a day of fun. Just because I can use a global cryptocurrency that I bought a while ago, and I can enjoy more of a holiday. So there's no exchange fees when you're dealing with a global cryptocurrency. I can just spend my coins in Italy and any other country that I decide to go to, and have a bit more of a holiday than what I would by converting money. Now, I had a friend last night. He showed me his wallet. It's full of Kiwi dollars. He lives in Australia. It's useless currency, just filling his wallet up for nothing. He can't use it anywhere. Because it's only small amounts, it's not worth him exchanging it because the exchange fee is going to be too ridiculous compared to the conversion rate of his money. So he's stuck with it until he goes back to New Zealand. When you've got a global cryptocurrency, we can use that value now, next year, it doesn't matter. It doesn't sit in your wallet. It's not wasted money. You're not going to lose it. It's just sitting there waiting to be spent. So there's some big advantages to having a decentralized model, but there's also some big failings with that particular business model. There's huge, much bigger advantages getting involved with a centralized cryptocurrency. And there'll be more and more of this particular business model coming into the marketplace. Unfortunately for the new guys, they're trying to copy the success of OneCoin. Well, unfortunately, the horse has already bolted. The success is so big now. It's like people trying to compete with Facebook. The only way that this competitors are going to do better than make a dent in the Facebook marketing campaign is because of Facebook giving up market share by doing stuff that the community of Facebook users don't like. And that's what's happening now. There's other networks, social media networks now that are coming into play. They're getting bigger because Facebook is changing the way they operate, and they're giving away market share because people aren't happy. And with the OneCoin business model, people are very, very happy with what's happening. The Deal Shaker program is making the reality of spending your currency as normal money with retailers globally. So I'm happy that I can travel over to Italy and spend money and buy pizzas and go stuff and enjoy life in Italy on a holiday using my cryptocurrency. If there's a transaction problem, then I can talk to the company about that. If one of Joan's merchants has a problem with the transaction, they can talk to the company about it. So it's something that we've got a support network behind us. We have got that government support behind us as well, because they know that we're complying with the fiat currency rules. So everything is sweet in the world of centralized. We have some resistance for the people that are traditionalists wanting the decentralized model to move, but ultimately it's up to the individual computer people that verify transactions, that determine the cost of transaction, the speed of transaction. And because no one's really in control of that area there, the market and the transaction costs can be slow, can be high, and it can be manipulated. So I certainly like being a part of a community of 3.4 million people plus, and having 100,000 merchants in the very, very soon on the Deal Shaker platform that do support a centralized model, as the governments will all moving in that direction as well. A lot of our exchanges now have been shut down in the decentralized model, so they can introduce that AML, anti-money laundering laws requirements in their exchanges, because that's very, very important. So even that is more centralizing the cryptocurrency world as well. A lot of people don't like it, but they just got to accept it because that's what's being forced upon them by the regulators. And the regulators do control the move into the future with cryptocurrencies. The regulators don't have to touch OneCoin because we complied from day one. Dr. Ruja in 2014 attended a finance symposium over in Europe. She had 7 recommendations for those people to make sure that a cryptocurrency did comply with all the present financial laws. A lot of those countries have put those recommendations into law now. That's why we're seeing exchanges, old exchanges, shutting down and then reopening up down the track. So I support the centralized world because it protects me and it protects the merchants that are accepting it. The currency is controlled by the community. It's not controlled by the company. So it's a sweet world. People are starting to learn, and I hope that people are getting involved with currencies that do offer that protection, and it's not in a manipulated cryptocurrency like a lot of the bigger ones are very, very manipulated now, and they don't even know that it's manipulated, and that's scary. That's what's scaring people to getting in this industry. We have to go out and teach them what is going on in the world and how they can protect their wealth and how they can learn and be saved from what's happening in the world of fiat currency. Because this year is going to be a big change, and I think their only way they can really protect themselves is to jump out of the fiat currency world right now and jump into crypto and just protect their wealth in other ways than what they think the banks are going to do for them. So a bit of information there to think about. you want to listen to the recording of that, there's it's recorded on Facebook on Roger and Rosemary's Facebook page. But it's an exciting subject. Everyone needs to understand what's happening in the world, and it's really, really good to be part of a community that everyone really does care, and everyone is protected with their wealth. So I look forward to hearing Rebecca and Nick, and then I'm sure Damien's got a bit of stuff to say as well. So I'll give it back to you, Roger. If anyone's got any questions, reach out, and we'll do our best to answer their questions.
Thank you, Andrew. Just one little small correction there, Andrew. Joan it's Joan's sister Alison that lives in Italy.
Oh, okay. I thought Joan was heavily involved in Italy.
Joan visited, you've seen there. Yeah, Joan's actually in London, but anyway, she'll speak a little bit later anyway, but fantastic. Thank you very much. Very enlightening, guys. Andrew's always great information, fantastic. So, yeah, brilliant. Thanks a lot. Now, Nick Naya has been doing a lot of work just recently. He went to the latest deal shaker that was over in Brasov in Romania, and where like cars were sold and all that sort of stuff. And now, basically, Nick's been doing a little bit of calculating, and I think tonight he's going to sort of share with us a few little bits and pieces, and a little bit about his journey, but also how to buy a car with 100% OneCoin. Now that is exciting. Now, so Nick, I hope you're there. Are you able to get on, or Nick? Speak to me, Nick.
Okay. Hi. Okay, I was having a problem trying to unmute myself. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Andrew, some fantastic stuff you said there is really great. It's given me a lot of things to say to people when they come to me and with their objections and, just so much of good stuff. Thank you, Andrew. Right. My trip to Brasov, like I mentioned last week, it was really exciting to see the diversity of the merchants and all of them, really excited to be in. There was a live feed on the shoes that they were selling there, and they were almost, in fact, they sold out once and they went back to the factory to collect it again and to put it out for sale again. And that too nearly finished, just a few pairs at the end of it. And it's really amazing. I mean, all the people that were there were very excited to be part of this, of the deal shaker. They were really excited because not only were they selling and collecting coins, they were getting new customers and new customers that, that are happy to spend their coins. And, and they will also get some cash customers along with it, those who are not in OneLife yet. So, it is very positive. Now, what I noticed when I was there was a lot of cars for sale. And I was just, thinking a lot of people have done the maths, but, once you actually get shown the maths, you'll be really amazed why our OneLifers and OneCoiners are so happy people, because they are suddenly getting huge value for the coins, for the ones that they have collected. Okay, let's say you're buying a Mercedes for about 50,000 pounds, 50,000 euro. And now 50,000 euro at 20.65 will be about 2,428 coins. Now, if you bought one of those large packages that we have today, your coins will be costing you about 70.5 cents. So, translating it all, your car will actually cost you 1,418 euros. And in pounds, it's 1,289 pounds for a 50,000 pound car. Now, that is really exciting because, there's a lot of us that have collected coins. I mean, I started in 2018, October, collecting them. And a lot of the coins I've collected were 5 cents and 10 cents, and then it slowly went up and up. I keep collecting. If I'm still any opportunity to buy now, I still would do that. So you average up, I suppose, or average down whenever the opportunity comes. Now, just imagine you are out there and you are looking at a car that you could never afford, or just think, I wish I had that car, and now it's costing you so little. Now, yeah, do you know how much the car, 1,000, okay, let's say you're buying a Telsa, which I want to buy, an electric car. It costs roughly about 80,000 pounds, I guess. Let's call it euro. At 20.65, it's 3,874 one coins. And if you bought it at 70.5 cents, now that would be 2,731 euros. Now, if I were to buy that car at 5 cents with the coins I bought, it would only cost me 193 euros. Now, that's crazy. That's really crazy. I mean, I'm driving down the road in this super expensive car, and everyone is turning their heads, and I only paid 193 euros. Now, that's something, yeah. So, you know, it all makes sense to get in now. I mean, it will still be a good deal right up to the point where we go live. Then the coins will cost you the market value. But our coins are set to grow in value. So even if you buy it from the market, it is going to give you good value. But I strongly suggest that you start buying now if you haven't already. I mean, there are some big packages, you know, the big packages where you get the entire education package. With it, you get the promotional tokens, and those tokens will cost you, when they are mined, your coins will cost you about 70 cents. Extremely cheap. Okay, I just want to, you know, I heard a little story when I was a little teenager. I'm still little, by the way, but when I was a teenager. And the story goes like this. Two guys were sitting by a river on a bench, and they were watching the water flow and then the ducks and all that, and they both fell asleep. And suddenly one guy woke up and he was screaming to the other. He said, you know, I had a wonderful dream. I dreamt I won 1,000 pounds. And oh, it was just think of all the things we could buy with this money. And his friend said, yeah, I know, but you could at least give me some, couldn't you? Wouldn't you? He said, no, I wouldn't. Why should I? And they we were talking, and they fell asleep again. This time he dreamt he won 1,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds. And he was telling the same thing to his friend, and his friend said, well, at least you could give me some, wouldn't you? Can't you? He said, no, I won't. And they fell asleep again. And this time he dreamt that he won £1,000,000. And he turned to his friend and he says, you know, I won just imagine all the things we could buy for this £1,000,000. He said, you know what? I don't mind for 1,000, and for 10,000, you don't give me anything. But for £1,000,000, can't you give me something? He said, no, why should I? You can't even be bothered to have your own dreams. And that's what it's all about. You see, guys, we all think of the things that we want, but we don't do anything about it. And this is an amazing opportunity for us to get on and start accruing property for ourselves, using our coins to buy property, to buy the car you want, the dream car, to basically, I don't know, create an amazing life for your family. And some people won't even dream that. And, you know, with that, you just look at it, and it's really an opportunity here that should not be missed. Okay, Roger, thank you. I want to pass it back to you now.
Thanks, Nick. Excellent value as always. Good joke. Right, what I wanted to do now is jump.
Can I just add to that? Can I just add one thing to that, please, Roger?
Yeah, sure, of course you can.
So what Nick said is very, very important. Now, a lot of people, you know, it's you make a good point about what you paid for your cryptocurrency. That just makes you a smart guy. That's all it does. You know, I've had conversations with people that have bought Bitcoin 12 months ago at $500. I've had conversations who bought Bitcoin 3 years ago at $250. I've had conversations with guys that are retired at 32 that have bought Bitcoin in 2009. In 2012. You know, we're talking about what we paid for our coins, but there's some people out there that paid ridiculously small amounts of money for the normal cryptocurrencies that are marketplace now. Now, they're living a very, very different lifestyle. There's not many of them. That's the problem. You know, in our circles, we have lots of people we see on webinars and we talk to that do have large amounts of coins because, like I said, Nick, he's just a smart guy. You know, it's not what we paid for our coins that matters. It's what the coins have turned into at retail price now. The people that I've talked to that have got Bitcoin years and years and years ago that basically do whatever the hell they like now, they don't tell me what they paid for their coin unless I really specifically point it out. They don't tell me how many coins they've got. All I can see is them enjoying life very, very differently than being a hard-working plumber. You know, they're hard-working plumbers put a couple $1,000s into Bitcoin, and at 32 they're retired because they don't need to work anymore because they've got so many Bitcoins at a very, very low rate that they're living a very, very different lifestyle now. So I think nowadays we really shouldn't be focusing too much on what we paid, and we shouldn't be skiting to people because it just hurts people because they didn't hear about it, or they weren't smart enough to get involved early enough. But I still think that if someone buys a package now, and let's say the coin price is at €21, if they got their coins at $15, that's still an awesome deal compared to having the $15 in the bank, because their $15 in the bank's only going to buy $12 worth of goods in 12 months' time. But their $15 into OneCoin is going to buy them $30 worth of goods next year. So it's, you know, people getting involved now really have to realize that couple percent movage in the value of their bank accounts or their savings accounts makes a big difference in the cryptocurrency world. This also makes a big difference in the financial world as well. We were just smart that we got coins when we got coins. We were smart that we got involved with a team of people buying big packages if we decided to do that, or if we had that capacity. But I think with XCoinX opening up, the people that have got small amounts of coins, they can use XCoinX, they can use OneForex to grow the small amounts of coins they've got into large amounts of coins, so they get to enjoy a cheaper coin price in the long run. But most people aren't smart like us. That's why we're on these webinars and they're not. So good points, Nick, though. I love those points. It's good to know that I'm in a room full of smart people.
You sweet talking man you are.
He'll send the money over shortly, Andrew. No, so right. But, you know, it's interesting, you know, the point is where everyone forgets is, you know, our currency. It doesn't matter whether it's the Aussie dollar, the pound, the New Zealand dollar, or whatever. They're all losing value. They're all losing value so fast. You know, I was with a business owner this morning, and we were just talking. He was talking about his staff were all demanding more money. They wanted more money. And he said, well, how can I give him money? So he's going to have to put his prices up to pay his staff more money. But the thing is, everyone says, well, everything's costing more. No, it's not. It's not costing any more. What the problem is that just our currency is getting less. You know, so with a cryptocurrency, it's finite. It increases in value, not decreases. So anyway, Rebecca, are you there? I can see you on.
Hello, morning,
Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
You're in the dark.
I am. I'm currently at my mother's place, and we're building at the moment. So we're all sort of holed up in one dig. So I've stepped outside so I don't wake them up because it's a little bit early here. But fortunately, this week I'm not on a plane and I'm not on a train, so I'm able to join you guys. But last week, with some of you may know, is that the reason why I was on a plane was because I was heading back from the Deal Shaker Expo in New Zealand, which has proved to be an awesome experience. Everybody there was absolutely fantastic, looked after me like I was VIP. Amazing family that we have in this OneCoin world. But also we've come back from sales from the Deal Shaker Expo. So we're just in negotiation and talking to a few people now, which is just, you know, fantastic for the company and to definitely keep the company interested in keeping the papaya plantations listed on the Deal Shaker. So I just... as I've spoken before, most of you know that we have the papaya plantation in Vanuatu. we currently have them listed on the Deal Shaker, where we take a deposit down in OneCoin. Just wanted to let you all know that we made a sale last week of 100 acres. This has meant that we've gone from stage 7 now straight into stage 9. We held our price point in stage 7 at stage 5 prices. Sorry, I lost you there for a second. I hope I'm still on. So yeah, we've held our prices, in stage 7 at stage 5 prices, but slipping into stage 9, we are going to be increasing the price on the papaya plantation. However, I do have a number of coupons listed currently on the Deal Shaker at the price we've got, and I've managed to convince the company to hold those coupons at that price. So if anybody is interested in our papaya plantation and purchasing through the Deal Shaker, now is the time. I don't know how long those coupons will last. I sold 100 in one transaction last week. So, if you are interested, get in contact with me. I'll get some information to you, start answering any questions that you have, and then we can go from there. The other thing that I just wanted to put a shout out to anybody that might be listening, we as a company, we want to support the Deal Shaker. We want to make sure that the OneCoin and the OneLife family is successful as it is successful. We're proof positive that it's successful as a company, but we do have some coins there, and we would like to utilise them on the Deal Shaker. And currently we're looking for marketing specialists in LinkedIn, Facebook and Google. We're looking for geographical targeting and people who can do AdWord specializing. So if there is anybody out there on the Deal Shaker that has that skill set, please get in contact with me. We'd be more than interested in talking to you. Doing business through the Deal Shaker would be fantastic. So as you can see, I am a little bit rugged up here at the moment. It's a little bit cooler now in Australia, especially standing outside. But don't worry, because I'm dreaming of those turquoise waters. I'm dreaming of those water temperature that never goes below 22 degrees. I'm dreaming of those beautiful smiles and the amazing country that Vanuatu is. And we can really, with the investment opportunities that we've got there, we can make that dream your dream as well. So, I won't go too much into it. I've explained how we all work, but yeah, get hold of me if you are interested. Now is definitely the time before that price goes up. But those coupons that are currently there, we're keeping that price down until those coupons that are gone. All right, so. And also just wanted to mention that was fantastic hearing from you guys about that interesting and breaking down your coin price, because I think that is important that you do that. Remember the price that you paid for the coin, not what the actual current market value is, and then look at the deals that are available out there, because what the Deal Shaker is offering now, it's such a broad cross selection. You can get almost anything that you can think of on the Deal Shaker now. So use those coins on the Deal Shaker, stimulate that economical environment, and let's, make sure that the power sits with the Deal Shaker and that the money stays within there. It's only to everybody who's involved advantage. So yeah, back to you, Roger. Go Deal Shaker.
Rebecca, thank you very much. We've answered one of your pleas immediately. LinkedIn, Social Dave, he can help you out 100%, and he'll accept 100% OneCoin.
Yeah, I think that we have had contact with Social Dave, but knowing that he's doing the 100% contact, we might be in contact again. So, that's awesome.
What you can do though is just guys, come through Rosemary and she'll just pass all your details on. That's probably the easiest way to do that, instead of banging them on Facebook or whatever. So she can just pass everything down through. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, without further ado, I suppose Social Dave, seeing as giving you a plug, you better have something to say.
I've unmuted now then. Roger. Yeah, so well, LinkedIn, that's where I work with people. That's what I get people to optimize their profiles and start using their profiles more effectively and more time leveraged. And I think it's particularly important when we talk about the deal shaker, and as OneCoin, OneLife moves into a new part of the journey, a new part of the process in October when it launches. That, and I think we've spoke about this before. Bringing more merchants on, because the more merchants we have on, the more goods that are available on the platform, then the easier it is for people to spend the coins they've already got. And as we've touched on this evening, if people have got in early and were smart enough to buy at an early point and actually physically pay not a great deal for the coins, their spending power is tenfold, 20-fold, 100-fold, or whatever it may be. So the more merchants there are on the Deal Shaker platform, the more chance you've got to find ways of spending the coins, within the network, within the community. And from my point of view, if you're going to be talking to merchants, if you're going to be talking to businesses and explaining to them the benefits to them of the Deal Shaker platform, one of the things they might be looking at is you as a person who walks in and maybe approaches them to give them this opportunity. Well, who are you? You might present them with a business card. You might tell them a bit about yourself. If you could say to someone, well, check out my LinkedIn profile, for example, there's a pretty much what I would consider to be a ready-made web page for you. You don't need to be going off and doing anything fancy anywhere else. LinkedIn is a free-to-use platform on the basic model, and you can more or less just have this one page that's there for free to you, and yet you can have so much credibility built into that. Start talking to merchants to explain the benefits of the Deal Shaker and direct them there to back up everything that you're saying, and probably even set it up so that it's giving them even more information. Any questions they've got, anything they want to know, it's already on there for them. So I can see a massive amount of potential for anyone who's looking to get more merchants and more businesses on the platform, which will benefit everyone overall. LinkedIn is a really powerful backup for you, something in your back pocket, if you like. You can go into them, you can have the conversation, and then you can finish off by saying, and there's much more information, or as much information as you need or you want, check out my LinkedIn profile. So that's where I see a massive benefit on LinkedIn, and that's why I'm offering my LinkedIn services on the Deal Shaker platform, because as I've mentioned before, LinkedIn is a worldwide networking tool, and Deal Shaker is a worldwide merchant platform. So for me, it's absolute perfect synergy. So I find that whole idea just really, really exciting. It's just great for me. So wholeheartedly behind that, and really looking forward to working with anyone who's looking to attract merchants and find ways of getting into them. And that's without even considering using LinkedIn to actually approach them in the first place, which is a whole different thing altogether. And not something that I'll go into great detail and start boring you with on the webinar. And the other thing I've spoke about before, I'm assuming, Roger, you'd like me to mention my take on the banking system as it stands at the moment as well.
If you could just do a quick take on that, because we've still got a few speakers and we're be fast running out of time.
Well, it was just something that just occurred to me when we were talking, in fact, me and you. If you're talking to someone about the currency, for example, about OneCoin, and they say, well, yeah, it's a cryptocurrency, it doesn't exist. My take on that is, well, what money does exist now? Where, all of your assets, all of your wealth, whatever you've got, who can actually get their hands on it? And the answer to that is no one. I was at an event this morning, and somebody was speaking about when they were on holiday in Cyprus, and he needed €2 for his son to put into an air hockey game. And he said, I don't carry cash. And it's not because he's royalty, it's because he uses plastic. So he doesn't use physical money. So if he's using his plastic, his contactless card to pay for things, it shouldn't matter to him in the slightest if it's a cryptocurrency or if it's fiat currency. And my take on that is the fact that the cryptocurrencies have been developed specifically to be cryptocurrencies. Absolutely brilliant what Andrew said earlier, being centralized, having the KYC, having the speed of transaction. If it's actually fit for purpose, it's been designed to be exactly what it is. And the banks have been around for so long that they're a step behind, at least a step behind every time. So there's far less security, and yet everyone's happy just going with what they know. And I'd say, well, yes, let's bring on the new generation. And I'll leave it at that then, Roger, and let you crack on with
thank you very much.
everyone else.
Brilliant,
Thanks.
brilliant as always. Damien, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Roger. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I hear it's a bit chilly with you guys this morning.
Yeah, it sure is. I don't know what
said.
Probably not as chilly as what you guys are used to getting in the UK, but still pretty chilly for this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Thanks, Andrew and guys and Rebecca, and it's really good listening to what you guys are saying. I like what Andrew was talking about. You know, we've been investigated the company in Sweden, Italy. We have our own audits every month, and we've been investigated at the head office in the company. I like to call it another independent audit because that's basically what it is. And look, it's interesting when you're talking to people and these type of things come up, saying how many audits do you need? We've had a number of them, and every time we go through them, you know, it's making the company stronger, and it couldn't happen at a better time, even though it was a bit disappointing or a bit interrupting for us. But you know, it's before we've gone out on the open market, we've just had another complete audit. What can you say? And it was free. One of the other, one of the other things I'm noticing was I went to a presentation actually in June last year. I was in Indonesia. I just come back from Indonesia, and obviously, you know, OneLife was pretty exciting for us, and you're telling so many people about it, and they look at you pretty strangely and say, "What in the hell are you doing?" And I come back from Indonesia, and there was a request for me to go to Melbourne to a blockchain summit to listen to the banks talk about how they're going to utilize blockchain and how fantastic it was going to be. It was $4,600 to go to this audit, to this meeting for 3 days. I chose not to go there. I chose to get another education package, as you would. But I did go to a blockchain summit here in Adelaide at the Flinders University. And that was fantastic. I listened to about how they track from water transactions, from oats to a paddock, to abused children using blockchain technology. So I was lucky enough to build a relationship with the person that set that up. And I've got another event happening next month on the 12th of July in Adelaide at our Flinders University. They're going to be talking about the rules and regulations of ICOs, ASIC, how they're utilising innovation for those type of things. And it was fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that. I was able to get a 10% discount for anybody that wants to go to that. And I've just posted it up this morning. So that's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to that. The guys that just come back from New Zealand, they've been over the moon. So they did a presentation last night, a bit on what they did in New Zealand. We had a hookup with Mark, which is what's going on for the Osaka event this weekend. So there's a couple of guys that are traveling over to that. I did find out that Mark's been managed to get a developer to come through. And this developer's developing property out of Dubai. And you're able to buy property using 100% coins. So if you understand Dubai and some of the advantages of purchasing property in Dubai, that's a very good understanding of what you're able to obtain in Dubai. So that was some pretty exciting news. What I've really noticed as well was what I learned at this blockchain summit last year. It was from a group that handled from Australia called the CSIRO. They were very really, really interesting to what they talk about the changing of technology and lily pad effects. It might sound a bit strange talking about lily pad effects in the IoT or the blockchain or whatever we want to call it. But the lily pad effect I'm noticing at the moment is about the deal shaker. So going back 6 months ago, we probably had the only business that was actually actively utilising the deal shaker in Adelaide. So now we've got 27 businesses that are utilising the deal shaker in Adelaide, to the fact that somebody rings us up saying, Damien, I see this is going on. When can you get my business on there? So I've got two appointments today. One actually set a accommodation blocks up from Narracourt, where we got some caves, about 3 hours from Adelaide, a hotel block accommodation. So you'll probably see that coming up on the deal shaker sometime soon. And another company that's doing tyres. So, you know, you might be able to get your tyres fitted by using OneCoin. So we've got an appointment with these guys today. So it's really showing that, you know, from one business in Adelaide to 27 to people ringing you up saying, hey, can you come around and get this up and going for us? And yeah, things are going to change with a lot of people with the deal shaker, I believe, and how much that's actually going to support the value of our coin when it goes onto the market. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what you've got coming from me today. Thanks, Roger.
Fantastic. That's great news about the new, well, one about the accommodation thing, like the hotel, and also, you know, tyres in Adelaide. That's absolutely fantastic. A little bit far for us to get tyres, like, but, you know, hey, you know, it starts somewhere and it just keeps going, you know, because, you know, we'll post this up on, you know, that's good news. That'll go up on YouTube, YouTube as well later on, which gives us another whole bit, you know, on the following. So that's kind of interesting. But thank you for that, Damien. Joan, I was just going to skip across to you, Joan, and say hi. How are we doing? You there, Joan?
Yes, I'm here. Greetings all. Doing a bit of cooking, if I'm allowed. Anyway, I am good, thank you. No, I haven't traveled this week. But thank you very much, Andrew. I do love traveling, and I do a lot of that since I've been with OneLife. It's such an international business that I choose the opportunity to go wherever I can to meet many other OneLifers, and you know, I love it. Now, with regards to any message today, what I would like to say is, I mean, most of us here, maybe we have got loads of coins. Maybe there might be a few of us who don't have any. You know, I'm so glad that we haven't yet gone public, because it had given me the opportunity to get on board so that I can be part of this. Had we done so, I would have missed out. And coming from my background as a financial advisor and mortgage broker, you know, we tend to have this feeling that we know a lot, because everything concerning finance, because we're governed by the FCA. However, there's a lot of us don't know a lot. And it's good for some of us to just come out of our normal way of thinking and try something completely different, like digital currency. I don't know really who I'm talking to. I hope I'm not just talking to the converted, but to everyone else as well. So that's my message for this week. You know, for us to come out of our usual way of thinking, expand our self, our see things differently, so that we can learn new things. And that's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I actually have been to Australia last year, but I didn't. I went to where did I go? To Sydney and Melbourne. I didn't go to Brisbane, but next time I will do so.
Thank you, Joan. I just wanted to add in here, just because, and say it at the same time, and you'll back this up. As far as we are concerned now, the deal shaker next month in London is being postponed. It's cancelled. Is that correct?
No, we're not having. Correct. We're not having a deal shaker expo next month. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe some other time. No, it's just that there's a lot of people who have actually booked from places like Ireland and that sort of thing, and Norway to come across, and so we kind of got to let all these people know. But yeah,
the decision was made like in the last week or so, but it hasn't really been backed up to put it out publicly. but we're not at this point. And the company also is supporting us to not have clashes. As you know, there's another one in Trinidad exactly at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
So, people might want to support that instead.
So probably at another date. Okay. Thank you very much. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Alison in Italy. Are you there, Alison?
Hello, Andrew and everybody else. Nick, great to see you guys. I have why. Can you hear me, or can you hear another voice?
Someone needs. Yeah, there's another voice going on there.
Yeah, I don't know why. Some crappy program, I think, is on my computer. So I don't know if I can really talk tonight. It repeats everything I see or something. Anyway, I'm sitting here with Mario. Mario is part of the team. I think I'll do the talking for me and Mario tonight. Mario's looking at me like, please don't put me on the spot. Yeah, we've been having a busy week here in Italy, another business hotel online here, but we have some little hiccups to clear up, because people are concerned with taxation and the cryptocurrency. So once we can iron that out, I think it will be smooth running. Saturday it was very enlightening also, because we attended an event in Verona where Petro Kravitz, he is the Bulgarian guy who sells the cars. And he shared lots of wonderful things with us. And I also picked up some tips, yes, because with DealShaker, his vision or his goal is to sell the cars, which I think is very good, because with many of us who have a lot of coins, I mean, even if you don't have a lot of coins, you can still buy cars. One of the things that you need to be mindful of, and he also emphasized that, is that you also need to read the terms and conditions. Whenever you go to look at a deal, read the terms and conditions, because apparently he relayed a story to us that when he put his first deal on of, I think, like 50 cars or something, or 25, I don't remember the exact number, all was sold out. And in effect, only 3 of those were valid, because all the other people that thought they were making a purchase because they only saw the coupon and what the cost was in equivalent in the crypto currency, they didn't read the terms and conditions to understand that also a certain portion in euro was also required. So of course, that did not work. So terms and conditions are very good. And as he relayed, it's sort of, let's say, a good turnaround for all of us. This will be, and we should look at everything like that with DealShaker, because when we buy the cars, many of us have got a lot of cryptocurrencies, a big portfolio. Some of us who came in on the later end, like Mario, and well, I came in a little earlier. But Mario only came in like a few months ago, and we're shadowing each other still. He's shadowing me great, and so on and vice versa. We're learning more about what we really need to do. Be able to afford the car, you may not be able to afford a big commodity. But something like the car, when you buy one from DealShaker and you want to sell it, let's say 2-3 years down the line you want to sell it, it's still relatively new. So somebody who hasn't got a lot of coins will then be able to come in and buy that car. May not be able to buy brand new, but at least they can buy. And I think that's a very good solution for many people who don't have a lot of coins. But all I will say to the people who haven't got a lot of coins, there's no need to worry. You can build up your portfolio. Get on DealShaker, guys. You got secondhand things to sell, whatever it is, as long as it's in good condition. Get it out on DealShaker. Sign up. We need everybody to get involved in this program. Get new merchants on. Get more packages, because that will help you to get coins. It's not the amount, it's the value that you're going to actually reach at a certain point. Yeah. So there is always hope. That's my advice to anyone.
Thank you,
And
Alison.
thank you, Roger.
That's absolutely brilliant.
Over and out for me.
You keep on going in and out, fading in and out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip over to Kenneth and Marita
Okay.
in South Africa.
Okay.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
We're doing fine. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm usually in the background listening, and I don't usually speak. So I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to you, Roger, and Rosemary.
Oh, hang on.
Social Dave.
Sorry, you broke up. Sorry, that was my fault there for a second, guys. I was trying to stop some background noise, and I accidentally cut you off. But carry on.
Okay, so yes, I just want to say thank you to you, Roger and Rosemary, for hosting this, and especially for Andrew with all his wisdom. I mean, we're learning such a lot from him, but also Nick and Rebecca and Bruce when he's on, and Damien and everybody else that contributes so regularly. I mean, I'm so impressed by everybody. Just to say, DealShaker has made OneCoin a whole lot easier. 3 years ago in South Africa, now we're in if nobody else knows, we're in South Africa. From out of every 100 people that we spoke to, and we've spoken to hundreds and hundreds of people, every 100 people, maybe one person had ever heard of Bitcoin. You'd say, have you ever heard of cryptocurrency? No, what is that? Do you know about Bitcoin? No, never heard of it. Today, it is probably about 60% of people that have even heard of Bitcoin, and a lot of people have never heard the term cryptocurrency, so we're still really behind. Today, we went to a very large, extremely large shopping mall. That was very different. It was mostly by foreigners, other ethnic groups, and it was difficult speaking to them because of the language. But then that made it so easy. You show them DealShaker and you say, "Look, different language. Here's your language. You can look at it, and you will be able to understand." And then their faces light up. So DealShaker, as I say, has made OneCoin a whole lot easier because people are still, I want my money in fiat currency, and it's not always easy to explain to them, to the unconverted, as Joan said. That
Sorry, Marita. You're beginning to, for some reason or other, the sound quality is quite bad there. What I wanted to do, we've gone just over the hour, and I would like you guys to come on and sort of tell us your story there again on if you could come on next week and sort of bring that on. But thank you very much, and maybe the connection might be a little bit better as well. But I just wanted to say thank you, a big thank you to everybody like Andrew, Damien, Rebecca, Dave, Ken, and Kenneth and Marita, but just Nick Nia. Well, he's our faithful little sidekick. He's been in there since the beginning. And so anyway, but thank you very much, guys, and much appreciated. And I'm going to stop the Facebook Live now and say good night.
See you next week.